My shed is all enclosed now, and it's been raining a lot lately, so I really need to make more of a door for it. I bought 3 cedar 2x4s to make it out of, but it turns out 2 of them are too warped to use, so I have to use a spruce one for one side, because warped doors are no fun. I'm going to join the door frame with loose tenon joinery. I'm starting with some slot mortises in the vertical parts. And more slot mortises in the end of the horizontal parts. Next I have to make the floating tenons. I'm planing some stock down to 1/2 inch, then rounding it on either side on the router table. And let's do a dry fit. Now I need a window to go into the top of here, and the storm window is almost the right size, but it's a bit too wide this way. Glass cutting always makes me a bit nervous because you can only score that cut line once or it screws up, and if the brake doesn't break right, you really can't fix it. Yes! Cut like a pro. It occurred to me that maybe I can put this cut down window back in the original frame. I'm adding a bit of construction adhesive to help hold those corners together. I'm cutting some rabbets to inset that window into the door frame. So I screwed up a little bit with the width. I only have a small ledge on either side to hold this window. So I think I'll glue a strip of wood here and here to give me more ledge. And while I'm waiting for the glue to dry on that, I might as well glue the floating tenons into my horizontal pieces. With the door now dry fit together, I can see there's a slight twist to it. I'm going to try to fix that. With just 3 of those in there, I can see there is a very slight twist. Let's fit them in the other side. And looking at this now, once again a very slight twist. This part needs to turn this way. And going back to this part here, placing 2 pieces of wood on there and looking along it, you can see that's twisted. The near end needs to go this way. I don't want to make this part any thinner, but what I can do is recut the joinery here to counteract this twist. I now have this end shimmed so it's under a little bit crooked, and here's my horizontal reference and a reference on here, and you can see now that this is lined up with essentially the machine over there. So I'm recutting that joint to line up with the joint on this end here. And now the same procedure with the other part of the door. quite a load of shims under there I had. I'm using a generous amount of construction adhesive for this because the joint is rather loose now because I've recut it. Construction adhesive is a great glue for loose joinery. With the clamps removed from that end, I can see what angle it settles at. So now on this end, I'm pulling it up a bit so that this part is parallel with this part, and now I'll have to let the glue dry. So now with this dry fit, it's a wee bit over the workbench here, but the amount of remaining twist is so small that I think I'll just ignore it. Construction adhesive needs moisture to cure, so I'm adding a little bit of water to my joint area to make that go a bit faster. I shimmed it underneath here and weighed it down just to counteract a natural twist that's remaining. Hopefully once it's dried, it'll be completely flat. Now with the clamps off, it's resting just on the middle, and it is not perfectly flat. There's still a few millimeters left, but close enough. Got a doorknob attached, plus hinges and some cross pieces to help hold the metal. Let's try and fit it in the shed. I got the door propped in the opening, so now I can mark the vertical position for the hinges. I'm using a router to cut the hinge mortises. It's a lot faster that way. Just a quick check that the hinge mortises are big enough. Gotta shave something off the bottom of that door. I routed this knot down first because the hand plane doesn't take that very well. Well, that fits. Got the strike plate mounted. Now I can finish the rest of this door. This piece of plywood goes on the inside of the door. I glued a piece of plywood to the inside bottom half of the door, plus a thin piece of oak right here, right where the doorknob goes, because I had to cut out an awful lot of material to make room for this door latch mechanism. I'm adding insulation to the inside cavities of the door. Enjoy the sound of me cutting styrofoam. I clad the outside of the door with steel roofing material. That was complicated enough that I'm making a video about that on its own, so I'm skipping over that for now.